Hi quizzers, welcome. This is Pub Quizia. I'm Scott. This is another special quiz in between my normal Fridays. Try and get one in on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to do a Beatles quiz number 2. Number 1 really went over well because I've got lots of Beatles friends. So let's see how you get on with the Beatles quiz number 2. Let's start off with question number 1. What was the last number 1 song by the Beatles to hit the US charts? So again, what was the last number 1 song by the Beatles to hit the US charts? You can pause the video to think about it. Question number 2. In 1965, the Beatles performed in New York City. At what venue? Again, question 2. In 1965, the Beatles performed in New York City. At what venue? Question number 3. What was John Lennon's middle name at birth? So question 3 again is, what was John Lennon's middle name at birth? Question 4. We're going to stick with names. What is Ringo Starr's real name? So again, question 4 is, what is Ringo Starr's real name? Question 5. On the Sgt. Pepper album, what song was inspired by a circus poster? Again, question 5. On the Sgt. Pepper album, what song was inspired by a circus poster? Got the wind picking up outside. Question 6. According to Paul, who is Martha in the song Martha My Dear? No, I'm not going to sing anything. So question 6 is, according to Paul, who is Martha in the song Martha My Dear? Question 7. What song was recorded by only John and Paul under the Beatles' name? So there is one song that only John and Paul wrote under the Beatles' name. In other words, they recorded it in the studio with no Ringo or George. What was the name of that song? Question 8. Which Beatle played the piano on the song Obla-Dee, Obla-Da? Which Beatles played the piano on the song Obla-Dee, Obla-Da? Question number 9. How many days did it take the Beatles to record the album Please Please Me? So again, question 9 is, how many days did it take the Beatles to record the album Please Please Me? Question 10. What was the original title for the Beatles movie Help? So again, question 10 is, what was the original title for the Beatles movie Help? Question 11. What song does the following lyrics, "Satisfaction Guaranteed," come from? So what song does the following lyrics, "Satisfaction Guaranteed," come from? Question 12. Of the 12 studio albums that the Beatles released in the UK, how many reached number 1 on the charts? Again, question 12 is of the 12 studio albums that the Beatles released in the UK, how many reached number 1 on the charts? "13. In what year were the Beatles inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?" So 13 again is, in what year were the Beatles inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Question 14. Who was Ringo's first wife? So again, question 14 is, who was Ringo's first wife? Question 15. Which song was banned in Australia for being too violent? Like I said earlier, you can pause to think about it, write it down, come back to me. So 15 is, which song was banned in Australia for being too violent? That's just the wife. Question 16 was, who introduced the band to cannabis? Marijuana. So who introduced the band to cannabis? For an extra point, if you give me the year, I'll give you an extra point. How's that? Let me just turn my things off. There we go. So 16 is who introduced the band to cannabis. 17. Who was the first Beatle to have a solo number 1 hit? So question 17 is, who was the first Beatle to have a solo number 1 hit? "18. Which song starts with I think I'm gonna be sad?" So, question 18 again. Which song starts with I think I'm gonna be sad? Question 19. Which original album cover did not have the name of the band or album name? So again, 19 is which original album cover did not have the name of the band or album name. And question 20 is, how many times have the Beatles played at the Cavern Club? This is approximately. This is what people have written down. So I guess I can give you 5 either side. This is what's recorded, but it's only approximate. So 20 again is, how many times have the Beatles played at the Cavern Club? Okay, that's the end of the question part. Again, as you'll see, we have the questions up here with the numbers, and the answers will come up here and here. Please subscribe. I had to look over because I need to know. Subscribe, push the button. That will let you know when I have new quizzes. Don't forget, Friday is my normal general knowledge quiz. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week yet. If you can come up with any ideas, let me know. And I'll see if I can do a specialized quiz this time next week. Let's start with the answers. Question 1 is, what was the last #1 song by the Beatles to hit the US charts? It was The Long and Winding Road. Question 2, in 1965 the Beatles performed in New York City at what venue? Shea Stadium. Question 3, what was John Lennon's middle name at birth? Winston. Surprised that the dog didn't look, because that's one of our dog's names. Question 4, what is Ringo Starr's real name? Richard Starkey. Question 5, on the Sgt. Pepper album, what song was inspired by a circus poster? It was Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite. Number 6, according to Paul, who is Martha in the song Martha My Dear? It was Paul's sheepdog. 7, what song was recorded only by John and Paul under the Beatles' name? It was the Ballad of John and Yoko. Number 8, which Beatle played the piano on the song Obladi Oblada? It was John. The story goes that he had to go at Paul because he was saying it was just another granny song. Stormed out, came back in, was stoned, and they said, if you want an opening to the song, and then did the opening to the song, and the rest, as they say, is history. Question 9. How many days did it take the Beatles to record the album Please Please Me? 1 day. It was the 11th of February 1963, and at the end you can hear John's voice on the song that they did last, which escapes me right now, but no doubt people will tell me. 10. What was the original title for the Beatles movie Help? It was 8 Arms to Hold You. 11. What song does the following lyric Satisfaction Guaranteed come from? It's Magical Mystery Tour. Number 12. Of the 12 studio albums that the Beatles recorded in the UK, how many reached #1 on the charts? It was 11. Yellow Submarine only reached number 3. 13. In what year were the Beatles inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It was 1988. 14 was, what was Ringo's first wife? It was Maureen Cox. I think they got married in 1965. 15. Which song was banned in Australia for being too violent? Run for Your Life. Thank you. 16. Who introduced the band to cannabis? It was Bob Dylan. August of 1964. 17 was who was the first Beatle to have a solo #1 hit single? It was George with My Sweet Lord. 18. Which song starts with I Think I'm Gonna Be Sad? It's Ticket to Ride. 19. Which original album cover did not have the name of the band or album name? It was Abbey Road. And last but not least, number 20. How many times have the Beatles played at the Cavern Club? Approximately 292 times. But like I said, you can have 5 either side, it's no problem. There we have it. That, as I say, is the end. How do you think you did? 21 out of 21, right? I think you Beatles fans probably are going to get most of those correct. I think that was a pretty good one. Comment, let me know what the results were that you got. Again, thank you for your support. I have been Scott. This is Pub Quizia. This was Beatles quiz number 2. Don't forget again, Fridays. It's my normal general knowledge. Click here. Click right here. Thank you. Thank you for watching. And until next time, hello, goodbye.